And though this is on the side, you still use this same technique. Looks like I dropped a bit of sugar there. And then again, yeah, we're carpenters, you know. Didn't think you'd be using T-squares. Good. Okay, now is the place where you put your heart in your hand here. And heat this up a little bit, just temper it a little bit. Well, let's figure out where we're going to put it. There, an angle somewhere around those little gold eyes. Just a little bit, don't want to melt that too much. Again, same technique. And an angle. Just the same. Gotta breathe. I have to think that I'm also right on that little bubble from there. Good enough. Yeah. You are gonna hold this just with your finger right there. Got it?
And it's all coming on you.
Ah! Go back that way. Ah, that's good. You're good. I'm just like I said, if this was cast yesterday, I would temper this under the light a little bit and get a little heat to it, like you can like a. This one's a little trickier. I'm just gonna, well, let's go straight down. Okay? Now we have a solid structure. Even got to. Yeah, you gotta live on the edge, you know?
Hello.
He might make that capstone.
Yeah. You were being prepared. Being prepared.
Okay, now this will act as another background, so we're going to set that in there as well. This is going to caramelize. We've got granulated sugar there, so no worries, not a problem. I will like to get a little flatter there. That's good. And we're going to do this at a slight angle. If I press that up against it, I don't have to have any heat to adhere this. I could take this little glob of sugar here and do a little tack job there. That works. Because we can probably put something there to cover that up. Just like a carpenter molding can cover up the world of hurt. Okay, now we still have this bubble sugar, and I don't really like this being flat, so we're going to bend this in the right. And wrap it around the back. I'm going to push it this way for you to see. Are you seeing anything in here that is sort of applying to where you're going? Is it making you think, I need to change something? Or I'm not saying that in a bad thing, because you don't know, you didn't know what this was like to begin with, and to put it into this application is an entirely different bird altogether. But it does make a difference, and I really, that's why I brought out the silly putty, because you get to understand how to manipulate it without having to mess around with it in the sugar.
And
When you're in the
practice-
sugar, that's the end of it.
Practice, trial and error.
And you just have to play with it, and you're gonna get frustrated. I'm not lying, okay? It's gonna be a little
Samson.
something like that, or keep it clean.
I'll try. I'll do my best.
And this is cast sugar, so it's not as manipulable as the pulled sugar, but we can certainly get a bend in this without cracking it, hopefully. So we're gonna do that. But this adds another, I mean, it's a simple little technique. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. Just some danger with the alcohol. But it adds another, I mean, look at all the light reflecting off that, and all these different places in there. And then you get that kind of dullness with the sugar-coated piece and the clearness of the other pieces. And like I said, you want to concentrate on your main focus of what your theme is for your centerpieces. And everything else behind it can be abstract, color coordinated. It doesn't have to have all the cows in the barn there, okay? It can have the barn, or it can have a cow, and we know what's going on, okay? But if you start making all these things around your focal point, then you're just adding that much more work. And like I said, you really don't need to work that hard to get a theme across. And as long as your techniques are sound and they're clean, and you've got some good things going on there, then that's all that really matters. I'll be looking for the technique. How do you manipulate it? Is it shiny? Has it got texture to it? Have you moved it around? Is it not just flat? Okay? So that's what we do. And also, I tend to look at the back of the sculpture. What have you got going back there? What are you hiding? We've got some stuff we can see through. We can also turn it this way to see something here. I didn't have a full-fledged plan. Well, see, that's the other thing too, is that you don't have to have a big plan going on. You can have all these pieces tucked away in a box, and then, oh, we got a little tea this afternoon. We need a little centerpiece for the tea set, whatever. few of these things together, and we're all set. We're done. And then they go, ooh, that $150 tea was worth it. I'm talking about, afternoon tea. They still do that?
Maybe the bill.
Maybe they do. So here's the back, okay? So now we've got dimension going on back there. And it just took a few little pieces to do that. But our main focus again is going to be this bird, so I don't want to take away from that. So I'm going to put this little rose in the back, just to cover up, do a little molding, okay? So you don't have yellow shine. And I like to think that we're within this box of this. It doesn't have to be. We've already taken this piece and gone outside the base, and that's okay. So think about it. You want to be fairly compartmentalized, but at the same time, and it's my style too. You want to kind of keep things together. And I'm putting probably too much onto this centerpiece, but I just want this to illustrate all the different types of sugar that you can work with, that you can arrange.
So perfectly just happened to be.
Okay, now we've got the bird. Let's careful with this guy's good. Looking at, I guess some fleas or something. So where do you think? Either here or here?
Back.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's not where I was going. No. Good choice. And see, it does make a difference. Sometimes you have to put things in its perspective and go, yeah, we didn't have a real big plan here, but now that's going to be right there, and I think that's going to work. And I am going to do a little tacking. So these little guys are good. Yeah. I used to have one of these little micro torches. Looked like a pen. That was pretty cool. Get into those little tiny spots. You gotta be careful where you're heating things up. So we still need to cover up something over here. It's always nice to have stuff that you can cover things up with. Okay, now we've got this ribbon. So we still have a space here, so we can still use that. Now, if you really plan this out, you know exactly where this is going to go to, but this is our And this, I'm not going to hit the ribbon, I'm going to hit the base. If I do the ribbon, I'll melt it. Pair there. Yeah.
Is that not good? Still not.
No, this is good. I'm fine. Okay, so with all these little bits and bobs, we were able to create a centerpiece that has 1, 2, 3, 4 castings. 1, 2, 3, 4 whole sugar, ribbon, and lung pieces in a rose. So that's a lot of technique going on there, a lot of stuff. Way too busy for this, but actually, we need to cover something.
There's technically no back to it.
There's technically no back to it, yes.
I mean, every aspect you look, there's something going on.
I kind of like to have it that way because people are going to be walking around it like this, you know? Give them something else to look at. And in a way, you've got this face, you've got this face, and you've got this face. And it's in a triangle, and it's very sturdy, and we're going to pick it up. Okay? That's the test. Any questions? I want to take some pictures too. So, I'm telling you now, 9 o'clock we started this, a lot of it was explanation. 9:30 we really started into it. 3 hours we finished this. It's possible. Okay, maybe I'm not trying to toot my horn, but possible.
Maybe all of us together. If we all work
And
together.
I used to do that in that class at the very end when we got done with the capstone. We had almost a couple weeks sometimes. We would do a large piece. We did several big, large pieces. One of them was, I don't know, 5.5 feet tall sitting in here one day. It was just, it was a collaborative effort. Everyone, some of them did some things they were challenged by, and some of them were going, I'm going to do that, I'll take care of that. And, I think by the time the class was over, we knew what each other's strengths were. And I added some things to it too as well. But it was just kind of nice to be able to put something collaboratively together. When I retired in 2020, that was right during the pandemic, the last part of that last semester was a bear. We were trying to figure out how we can do hands-on classes, and I came up with this idea, and I hate to think it's genius, but it was kind of one way of me understanding, because I think I told you yesterday, I learned more from students and teaching than I did any other time. I went to school, I worked, I competed, but I learned more from students and the fact of the art of teaching, I think, too, is that I thought, well, what am I going to get out of these students? They have to come up with this theme. How are they going to do this at home? We can't give them equipment. So I asked them, and it was a group like this, I think it was 8, something like that. I said, you come up with a new centerpiece for me. Give me all the specs, all the colors, the sizes, everything I need to know about it, and I'll do it at home. I had all the equipment at home. And so I set up a tripod with a phone on it and did a 3-hour Zoom. Invited everyone on campus, and they gave me a conglomeration of all of their themes in one centerpiece. It was not the greatest centerpiece design or anything, but it showed that they took all their little things and they varied them. They had a snowman with angel wings on it. This is kind of crazy. But then I put it together and everything, and during the whole process I would stop and go, oh, what are we doing here? How does this work? And then I would go, oh, I did something. What happened? And they'd go, oh no, you need to do this. And I'd say, okay, that's good. And then at the very end, they gave me a critique. That's what I would give them, so they gave me a critique. And then at the very end of it, did you all have pictures taken of yourselves that go on the board out there? Well, Kelly sent me all those pictures of them, and I printed out and cut out these rounds, just their faces, and then encapsulated it with clear cast sugar. So it's like one of those little magnifying things.
That's so cool.
And so I said, there's still something missing here. And I pulled these things out and started adhering them to the outside. They're so cute. But I guess the dean of the division isn't here anymore. But she called me up and said, "Did you do a recording of that?" I said, "I think they recorded, yeah." She says, I was going to just come in for like 10 minutes and, just kind of make myself known there. She said, "I stayed for the whole 3 hours. I got all this other work done at her desk and everything." She says, that was really kind of clever because it told me how much I taught the students. And I think that was really, to me, very inspiring. That I don't know how I came up with that, but I thought, how am I going to know that I taught them everything? So they did. They really taught me something on the back end of it. And I think they really got a lot out of it because they had, at that point, had gotten enough information and worked with the sugar enough that they knew what to do in that situation when I asked them what's going on here. And I think that was really important. I do want to go over these if you want to take some notes. Are you okay?
Yes.